Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on 13 Now, our YouTube show that we're also broadcasting on Facebook because of this big winter storm that we're facing on this alert day. It's 7:15 here on March 14th, a Tuesday. I want to bring in our meteorologist, Reed Kisselbeck, to talk about the storm. So we've been tracking this since a couple days ago, and now it's finally here.
Yeah.
Low visibility in some parts. I've seen on the traffic cameras during the show, and then also just the accumulation over like an hour, 2 hours. I saw Kumi in her live shots earlier today.
Yep.
And she said, you saw the sidewalk. And then she goes, that was at 4 o'clock. Then at 6 o'clock, she said it's all covered in snow.
Yeah, it's what's happening right now is our nor'easter has been right off the coastline and it's been holding steady. And so what's happening now is we're starting to get that heavier, steadier snow coming back in and then kind of lingering.
Yeah.
So what was more so just a heavy wet snow that was melting kind of fast, all of a sudden you're getting the faster rates, and that started to add up a little bit more, and then you started seeing accumulations again. So the evening commute started out with just light, steady snow. Roads were looking pretty good. By the time we hit 6:30, it was getting worse again.
It's getting heavy. And we saw a lot of power outages that we're going to continue tracking throughout the night.
Yeah, they've gotten a little bit better as conditions improved a little bit more, and I suspect they will continue to get better. But even tomorrow's looking a little bit windy. So if some of our trees are still covered in the heavy, wet snow, you still might have some potential for some power outages.
So what are some of the, I don't know, if do you have the snowfall totals on you at the moment?
I do have a couple in here. I'll show them in just a second. But yeah, so we have the alert day. We'll use the graphic that we got. It's still going on because it is snowing heavily once again. It is getting worse on the roads a little bit more right now, and the winds will still be gusty and giving us that potential for power outages. So
yeah, look at that.
Yeah, we have US 9 on Columbia Street extension. We had that wet kind of road earlier. Now that the temperatures are dropping near, if not below freezing, we're seeing things switch around a little bit more, and we're starting to see that snow start to stick on the ground and become a little bit more slippery in spots. Road crews, though, want to give them a great shout out here because they've been doing a great job at trying to keep up with all this too. Our first morning cam in downtown Albany, the conditions, you can tell visibility's dropped down a little bit because it's still steadily snowing.
You can usually see a lot more.
You can usually see 787 and beyond further north. Right now, we don't have that view. But you can see we still have a little bit of some, it looks like rain on the lens. It's just melted snow. Mm-hmm. We are sitting at 33 degrees. And we'll show you the snowfall reports from earlier in the day. Troy with just shy of a foot of snow. It's probably closer to that right now. 9.2 in Clifton Park, 6.8 in Queensbury. And we'll show you a couple other snowfall totals too, where we have the higher totals. Indian Lake, almost, not quite, but almost at 3 feet of snow by the time all was said and done here. And we're still not done yet. Arlington in Vermont, 24.3, 20 inches at Lake Desolation. And so
a little baby can be submerged in 3 feet of snow.
Everything can be gone in like 3 feet. So it makes things a lot more challenging to clear out too, because it's still that heavy, wet snow. And so if you are the one who has to get out there with the shovel, this is not the easy snow to shovel. So just make sure you're taking plenty of breaks.
This is really hard because I was just shoveling for 10 minutes, shoveling my car out. Yep. And after 10 minutes, I was like, man, I'm so done with this. And it was so hard. I was scared that my shovel was going to break. And then, some of our producers, our executive producer was snow blowing. And they said, yeah, this is terrible.
It's not fun. It's not the good snow for sure. So it's not the good one for shoveling or snow blowing because it's heavy and wet. And you can see the first morning live Doppler radar still showing those darker shades of blue on there, which means that's your heavier and steadier snow. And we have a decent line extending from portions of Washington County down into Albany County, Rensselaer County, and up towards the hill towns, even towards the Berkshires once again. So we're not quite out of the woods just yet. You can see our nor'easter right on the coastline has been pretty stationary. It's going to take another few hours for this to start to move further out into the Atlantic, and then conditions will start to improve a little bit better for us. But kind of zoom on out here. That's the track it'll be heading. And you can see it hasn't really moved all too much over the last few hours. So once it does start to move, you see that snow will start to turn more so scattered. And as we work our way overnight, that chance for scattered snow still continues. Mainly our higher elevations will still be dealing with additional snow. That's especially in the Berkshires and in parts of Green Mountain. So you guys definitely want to keep that in mind if you're in those higher elevations, especially too, it's still going to be windy overnight tonight. So power outage is still a possibility. If you're home, and you have your phone with you and you notice the battery's getting low, charge it up now. Do yourself the solid before you go to bed, because if this is also your alarm clock, you want to make sure it actually goes off first thing tomorrow morning. So Noon on Wednesday, still leftover few scattered showers on the valley floor. We're looking at some sunshine, and we do look to finally dry out as we get towards the overnight period Wednesday into Thursday. So what to expect as we head into the power outage sector now. This has been through the course of the day. We hit our peak early on in the day of around just over 101,000 customers without power.
Wow.
And then we started to level off and bump up again as we got into the start of the evening commute. When that heavier snow came in and the wind still picked up a little bit more, we got up to around 67,000 customers without power. Now we're starting to drop off a little bit more. That's a good sign. But still, just over 52,000 customers still without power across our region. And even Essex County, which is not included in this, Essex County, just north of Warren County, has just over 2/3 of their population without power right now. So it's pretty impressive with the amount of outages that we're seeing. That power outage risk still staying high overnight tonight because of the wind gusts that we have and the additional wet snow that we are getting. We'll show you the wind gusts for the rest of the day today. Still getting as high as around 40 miles per hour, potentially 45 miles per hour in some of our higher elevations. And that's going to be the case for the start of the day tomorrow, too. Wind gusts still as high as around 40, 45 miles per hour. And we're still seeing wind gusts of around 30 by the time we get towards the evening commute tomorrow. So even though it won't be snowing in some spots, if you still have the heavy wet snow on the tree branches and you get these wind gusts, be prepared for a couple of those branches to snap and still have that potential for some power outages. But tonight, 30, light snow gradually tapering off. It will remain windy as we head into the day tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a few rain showers if it does get above freezing, where we are going to see those few spotty showers, and then snow showers where it is going to be just below freezing. Still windy with gusts as high as 40 miles per hour in your 7-day planner. Thursday, partly sunny, a high of 46. St. Patrick's Day, a chance for some scattered rain showers, a high of 45. Saturday, a few leftover spotty showers, a high of 44. Cool down for Sunday, 34 and partly sunny, but then we're back up towards the mid to upper 40s as we head into the start of next week with dry conditions.
So we just got to get through this storm, then we're smooth sailing for the rest of the week.
We get through this storm, a little bit of some rain might help to melt some of this. So the best thing you can do maybe on Thursday before that comes is just clear off the storm drain. And that would help reduce any potential of some localized water ponding out the roads around there. You'll have a nice dry to do it. And plus with the sunshine, it might actually help to melt it a little bit. It'll still be heavy, but it might mean less snow for you to clear off later.
I'm going to put the 7-day planner off here for a second. I think we still have it in the system right now, in our 13 Now system. The, Slingerland side by side. Look at this.
Yeah.
So this was yesterday at 5:30 p.m. and then in Slingerlands. And then this morning at 10:30 a.m., our crew put a GoPro out yesterday, smart of them, and went in the same neighborhood just not even 24 hours later. And look at the difference there.
Big difference. It's I like how they think ahead like this.
I know.
It shows a big difference in 24 hours. You see it yourself, but when you see it side by side like that, it definitely makes a big difference.
It really helps to show people hey, here's why this is important. And here's why we track storms like this. And putting those side by sides really puts it in perspective for people.
Yeah. And it's so different by elevation too. Here on the valley floor, we're right in our range of where we said we would get it. And as you go up in the higher elevations where you're getting 2 feet of snow, that's an entirely different picture of what you could be seeing from what we're seeing right here outside our own station.
I mean, you said what? Indian Lake was almost 3 feet of snow?
Almost. Yeah.
That's crazy. So that was Slingerlands. They put that one in here. I didn't see anything else, but we had a lot of cancellations too. Flight cancellations.
This is a good move for sure. Imagine trying to land in this. It's pretty difficult.
Our anchor, Rachel, for the evening shows, Rachel TD, she was supposed to get in yesterday, and then she told her boss, I'm going to be late, but somehow
I think she got in.
Landed at 5:15 today. It was still delayed, but
she got in right before the burst then. That's probably it. Yep.
So good for her. But we also got a comment. I wanted to bring that up too. This, when we were talking about how it accumulates so quickly over hours and hours, some woman on YouTube said, I thought we were going to get through it. And the next thing I looked, everything is covered again. I feel like that's consensus with everybody.
That is the beauty of a nor'easter. You get a little bit of a quiet period and you think you're done, and then you get hit with a second round or even a third round before all said and done. And it's all about the timing of when this chooses to leave. So it's getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there. We're on the tail end of it now. Are we still kind of in the thick
We're
of
getting
it?
towards the tail end. So the heavier, steadier stuff starting to wind down a little bit more, and then it'll turn a little bit more scattered as it finally decides to shift and push out into the advance.
So was it by 8 a.m. tomorrow? Is the nor'easters technically done and gone?
8 a.m. it's gone. There are a few residual elevation-based showers, mainly in the Green Mountains and in the Berkshires. So they'll still be dealing with some snow. Sometimes that might shift a little further to the west, and parts of the hill towns could still see a little bit of snow.
Cool. All right, Reed. Well, thank you so much for joining me on 13 out of the past 2 days.
My pleasure.
And it's just almost 7:30 here. So we've got our 2 newscasts live at 9 on my 4, and then News Channel 13 on live at 11. So we hope to see you guys there. I'll be tracking all the power outages for you guys. You will have more on our snowfall totals and what we can expect throughout the night into tomorrow. But that does it now for us on 13 Now here. So thank you everyone for joining us. We appreciate it. And then leave us any more comments or questions if you have any.